Hello and welcome back to the program. I am once again your host Joe. This week we watched 1921's Never Weaken. It's on the list because I needed something from the 1920s, and frankly Harold Lloyd was there, so I figured why not. Directed by Fred C. Neumeier. It's a comedy, and it's got 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It's 104 years old, and it's one of the few films on my list that you can actually watch in its entirety on Wikipedia. Okay, so there's basically three big names from the silent era of film: Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and Harold Lloyd. We all know who Charlie Chaplin is. I already covered Buster Keaton earlier, and now it's Harold's turn.
The legendary Harold Lloyd!
Harold Lloyd was born in 1893. He got his start with Thomas Edison's film company before moving out west to work with Universal. They, of course, did not work with him. It's actually kind of weird to think about this, but the man's career predates Hollywood as the center of the American film industry. Edison was filming on the East Coast, and his company more or less was monopolizing the actual film process, and that's what drove competitors to cross the country to California in the first place. Obligatory fuck you to Thomas Edison. He created the conditions for his own downfall here. After traveling out west, Lloyd befriended an up-and-coming filmmaker Hal Roach. Roach himself wound up becoming kind of a powerhouse in the media landscape. He had a hand in the Laurel and Hardy films, as well as the original Little Rascals, a property that was so enduring that it, for some reason, got a reboot in the 1990s. Together they cribbed some notes from Charlie Chaplin, and they cooked up their own take on the tramp character, Lonesome Luke. Side note, so many of the Lonesome Luke films just no longer exist anymore that Wikipedia's list of his filmography has a column to describe if the film actually still exists. I also need to note that of the films that have survived, Lloyd actually was the copyright holder on them, and he was extremely protective of his intellectual property. He didn't re-release the films in theaters because he apparently didn't trust that they'd get the right music to go along with them. He, for some reason, was very much opposed to any of his films being accompanied by piano, which is really picky, but sure enough. Important to note, this film does not have any piano in the version of this that I watched. It's all strings, which is not the organ version that Lloyd would have preferred, but it's not piano. And also his movies weren't shown on TV because his asking price for the rights to just screen 2 showings was $300,000.
$300,000?
In like the 50s and the 60s. I have to think that he was highballing the price on this just to deter people from even thinking about approaching him for them. Also, I don't know how to fit this in without just saying it outright. Harold Lloyd, after he retired from the film industry, got into photography and did photo shoots with the quintessential pin-up queen, Betty Page. That's enough background, I suppose. I should actually talk about the movie. It's a comedy short from a slapstick comedian / stuntman, so don't expect too many plot twists here. Basically, Lloyd is getting flirty with a girl who works in the same building as him. She works for a doctor's office, and the doctor says he's going to have to let her go because they don't have many clients. Lloyd doesn't want to stop working with her, so he goes out to drum up some business by causing accidents and giving people business cards. Luckily, everyone can afford medical bills in the Roaring Twenties. After causing some mayhem, Lloyd returns to the office to tell her that he's drummed up business, and he finds her getting cozy with a fella. He walks away depressed, heart set on committing one of YouTube's least favorite words. He wants to Roblox himself, as they say. Seriously, why does he just have a big bottle of poison in his bathroom? Is this a 1920s thing that I just don't know about? After a few botched attempts, he winds up starting the ridiculous stunt work portion of the film, finding himself on steel I-beams high in the air at a construction site. He comes to face with an angel, comes down to earth with a new outlook on life, and his girl actually winds up telling him that the guy that he saw her with is her brother. He's an ordained minister, and he's there to marry the two of them. As a result, they get to live happily ever after, just as soon as they get the hell off this construction site. So the main draw of a Lloyd film is often the stunt work. If you're familiar with anything he's done, it's this clock scene. I'll note he was actually over a crash pad the whole time. This was a fantastic trick of camera angles. This movie got some stunt work too. Same tricks employed, same vertigo-inducing heights being simulated. The construction site I-beam scenario has been done in cartoons ever since. It's being done with babies. This is an enduring visual for a reason, and here's the originator. One detail about the film that I actually knew to watch for was to see if Lloyd was wearing gloves. He does indeed wear gloves during the film, And the reason for this is, in 1919, he lost a thumb and a finger on his right hand from a bomb-related mishap. That's right, the man's life had slapstick in it too, but unlike a cartoon cowboy, he can't just shrug off a bomb going off in his face. The fact that his career endured for another 30 years, with the injury more or less hidden from the public, thanks to the use of a special glove with prosthetics in it, is also something that I take as a testament to his abilities. As always, the question is, would I recommend this film? And I have to say yes for a few reasons. 1. It's incredibly accessible. It's public domain. Again, it's on Wikipedia. 2. It's from a legend of the screen, Harold Lloyd.
The legendary Harold Lloyd,
who himself has been parodied and referenced enough to be culturally relevant enough to look into. 3. It's only 30 minutes long. You don't have 30 minutes? Give it a watch. And hey, speaking of giving things a watch, what are we going to watch next week? 3, 2, 1, and go! Alright, it's a slow start. This is very reminiscent of golf with your friends. Every slide gets somebody, so we at least get to see the full effect of randomizer here. Oh gosh, how do I even keep track of who's in front? My favorite software is being here, is going around that way. Cecil B. Demented is inside this shark. A Man Escaped is down there. The Hit is doing things. This is... the game thinks that A Man Escaped is in front, but who can tell? It just tells you what's closer. And this is a very lazy approach. Cecil B. Demented is in this dish first. That's part of the green course. It's the only thing that's going to go there, but it has 3 friends with it. A Man Escaped and The Hit. Cecil B. Demented is down in there. A Man Escaped is down here. Never mind. Oh, look at this. Here comes. My favorite software is being here. But there goes A Man Escaped into the pool first. It gets stuck on these spinny things. As does After Hours, as does everything. This is very calm water, so that the Hit gets to go backwards. After Hours, over the waterfall first. And... oh, wow, okay. It's a photo finish. A Man Escaped and After Hours basically crossed at the same time, followed by The Sweet Smell of Success, My Favorite Software is Being Here, Cecil B. Demented, and then here comes The Hit. That's a fun little course, yeah. Yeah, but there we are. It's official. Our winner, A Man Escaped. I gotta see these times. Look at that difference. Like, 0.2 of a second. Really close. Alright, A Man Escaped, why are you on my list? Where are you? A Man Escaped, there we are. A Man Escaped, from 1956. It's on the list because it is from Bill Hader's second Closet Picks. It's directed by Robert Bresson. It is a prison drama. 8.2 out of 10 on the IMDb, 99 minutes long. That sounds promising. I think so, at least. Yeah, if I recall correctly, A Man Escaped, I believe it's a French film, of course, set during the war, so I think it's a POW escaping from a German camp in Vichy, France. Or, I can never remember. There's Vichy, France, and I think German-occupied France, like, because they basically split the country in half. Either way, somebody's in jail. The war is happening, and he escapes. And he is a man. He is a man who is escaping, hence our title.